And I, our favorite place that we've ever been is where we got this shirt, this Lubeck, Maine.
Awesome.
Lubeck, it was our first or second anniversary. Producer. It was our second anniversary, she said. We went and found this place, and in fact, we found it completely by random. We said we wanted to go to Maine because I'm a huge seafood fan. I love lobster, and we're also both fans of just quiet.
Right.
Get away from both of my job in audio and her job in childcare. It's like, let's go somewhere quiet.
It's the Even Steven and Ollie Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Ollie Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Ollie Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Ollie Mark Show.
So we're thinking a cabin. Our friend John Jacey happened to be visiting when we were having this discussion, and pulled the map up on his phone, and he was like, "You don't want to go." He's like, "I'm looking at it, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and there's a town called Bar Harbor, which is a pretty popular tourist town.
Yeah.
That's only a couple hours up from like Connecticut and the rest of civilization. Lubeck." John was like, "This one's all the way at the tippy top, and it's across from like either Newfoundland or Nova Scotia, like across the bay from Canada. That's how far up and over it is."
Right.
And we said, "What the hell? Fuck it, we'll go for it." It was 13 hours to drive there. But when we got there, it couldn't have been better. Like, we had seen pictures, we looked it up, researched it a little bit, and there's literally like a 1-bedroom cabin right by the ocean. It's an amazing, like, scenic view looking across that part of Canada. There's it's a town like almost entirely run on lobster catching, the whole lobster industry.
Yeah.
So we go up there. It's our second anniversary. We're taking about a week. It's a day up and a day back. So we really got like 5 days, 4 nights, I think. So the first couple days we're just kind of exploring. We went on a hiking trail. That's when Romeo marked his territory until he didn't have any left. Just kept marking the territory dry. But
got prostate issues.
yeah. He needed replenishments. I think our anniversary itself fell on maybe our second or third night there. So we had been there for a little while first. And I went to the lobster market, which the fishermen still have like their coveralls and shit from the pier, and they're dumping these lobsters into an enormous tank. Takes up the whole room of the place. And it was like $4 a pound for lobster. I don't think I spent more than $80, and I ate lobster for all 3 of my meals a day the whole time we were there. It was amazing. I was in heaven. But we do decide to go and check out the couple of little restaurants. Mind you, the town's population is 1,000 if at best.
Right.
So it's a really tiny town. Now, we're having some drinks. We're at this restaurant. It turns out that a lot of the owners of the businesses there are actually Jersey transplants. Somebody used to run a place in Cape May and now runs a place up there. And
oh, wow.
It's like people like got as far away from Jersey as they could. And this is like the northeasternmost point of our country. Like, if you look down from Lubeck, it's like goes down to where Key West is. You know how Key West is like the southernmost?
Yeah.
This is northeasternmost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we have our meal. The dog said hi. We have our meal at this restaurant, and I get some kind of lobster dish because I have to, because I'm there for the week, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
Amy got something good, like something she hadn't tried before. We had these cool drinks called a campfire, which is like it's a whiskey mixed drink with with some kind of like s'moresy twist to it, and they light it on fire. One of them ones.
A flambe, yeah.
It's like a flambe. That's the term, right? It was bourbon, yeah. But it was a mixed, some concoction, and it was called a campfire, and it tasted like you were sitting next to a campfire. It was so fucking good, dude. Long story short, we're going home back to the cabin, and it's only 1.5 miles, 2 miles away, and we're debating on who's going to drive the car. Speaking of the driving, and now we're we're in our late 30s, and we're like, let's make sure we're doing this right and being responsible. We'd only had a couple drinks, but then I was like, I don't want to get pulled over, ruin this fucking vacation between here and the cabin. It's only like maybe 2 miles away. Right. Then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what's weird? I don't remember seeing a cop here since we even got here, to be honest with you. And I'm like, whatever, I'm all right. I have a soda or a water or something, like, you know, I can get us across town. We'll be fine. Right. And then we get back to the cabin and we start doing a little bit of research on, you know, what the town's demographics and all that kind of stuff. I'm dragging this out, but the crux of it is that we found out that the town doesn't have any police. They had voted the police out of the town like a decade earlier. The town council said, we're paying these 2 patrolmen like over $100,000 a year, you know, to do a job that we can do ourselves, because we're all like mountain men up here, you know.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
We got this covered. Don't worry about it. So yeah, this is the one town that I've ever been to in the U.S. that is completely free of police officers, 100%. It's as libertarian as you'll ever get. Then we start going and asking the next day, like, the shopkeeper who has the gift shop and the other people that we had met, and like remaking our rounds to the town and asking them about that. They're like, oh yeah, we haven't needed cops here in over a decade. There was one time some guy came into town and he was selling some hard drugs to some of the teenagers. He's like, a couple of the dads just cornered him for an hour until the state police could make it. Yeah, man.
All right.
But I highly recommend Lubeck. It's one of the favorite places on earth that we've ever been, and you can get your lobster for $4 a pound. And I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that we can make it back there sometime this year for what'll be our 5-year anniversary.
I just want to say, as an addendum to your story,
yeah,
I am a very strong supporter of the police, as are you. But I just like the fact, not so much that it's a town without police officers, but it's a town that doesn't need them. And that's why
really, that's the state of Maine in itself already has pretty, I have to kind of use the word libertarian for lack of a better term.
Gotcha.
The fact is, these are people who are, for the most part, outside of the couple of very small cities, it's almost all wilderness, and these are all self-sufficient people.
Yeah.
They're raising their families on the land or on the ocean to fish and, you know, and all. Yeah, exactly. And they're equipped to handle any kind of minor situation.
Yeah.
Without any, you know, they don't need any interference. Were you just testing the new tablet?
No, I just dropped it.
You were testing it for durability.
Yeah, that's durable.
But yeah, it was interesting because, you know, but to that was meant to be as much as a nostalgia story for me as it was to be somewhat funny. But the fact is, there are no cops in Lubeck, Maine.
That sounds beautiful. That sounds like a great place.
But it ties back to today is 420. We're recording this on our high holiday, so to speak.
Yes, I do not smoke, but
I think you're lying to me.
No, I don't. I smoke cigarettes.
You didn't smoke a bowl with me outside of the. I'm sorry. No, you didn't. You're right. I was thinking of someone else. I was thinking of some guy. It was a Mexican guy.
It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show. It's the Even Steven and Oddly Mark Show.